Welcome back, gamers, casuals, and chaos enthusiasts. Today, we're going to settle something pivotal to the Overwatch community. How each person smells based on the heroes that they play. And as you can see over here, we have, starting from the top, or the worst smelling people, Stanky Supreme. Next up, you have the Dukes of Doo-Doo. Then we have the Musk Masters. Then we're getting down to Deodorized Decent. We'll call that the area where you don't smell bad, but you're also not great. And then we have to the people who they at least shower before and after they play this game. Today I'm joined with a couple more Overwatch enthusiasts to help me develop this list. Gentlemen, what do we think of people who play McCree?
I don't think McCree's too bad, honestly. I think he might be somewhere maybe middle of the pack, maybe a little cleaner, you know?
Yeah, you know what, I'm feeling that too. You're thinking
he might be
deodorized
decent.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Deodorized decent.
Like,
yeah, that feels pretty right.
I don't think he's clean. Like he's definitely not a shower type of person. But I think people who play him, they don't have a bad tone to them. They're not as clean as could be. I definitely agree.
Yeah, for sure, sure.
Moving on, we have the people who play Bastion. Now, I have my own preconceptions about people who play Bastion, personally.
Squeaky clean.
There you are.
Yeah.
I think people who play Bastion, they shower. They maybe they even smell a little bit better than the people who shower, in my opinion, because it's not like he's got that great of an ult, in that his ult is meant to clear like the payload or the point, but it's not. You're never expecting to get a kill. You're just meant to move people. That's all it is. You're like herding sheep. And besides, he's got a nice little cap on. He's a cool guy.
Easily, for sure.
All right, Johnny, what do you think? I want to hear your opinion first. What do you think of people who play Mercy?
Nasty.
Nasty? How nasty? Do you think Musk Master? Stanky Supreme. So people who play Mercy are Stanky Supreme. Anybody who plays Mercy, you can smell them a mile away.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair take.
What do you think, Jason? The mile away take?
I agree with Keegan.
We think people who play Mercy need to buy a whole new gaming setup because their one they have is
they need to get off the game.
Fair. Next up we have a great one as well. This is I'm wondering what you guys are gonna say about this one. What do we think of the people who play Genji?
Worst.
Stanky Supreme, take a bath.
Yet again,
please.
Another Stanky Supreme. I feel like people who play Genji, yeah, sure, they're playing like one of the fastest moving, most athletic characters in the game because they physically, probably can't move themselves. So it's like
for sure.
The only thing they eat is Papa John's pizza, but they have to get it DoorDashed.
They get the
That's the realest thing I ever heard.
You get there, they smell like cup noodles.
Cup noodles and BO.
Smell like cup noodles and BO. Next up, we have Winston. What do we think of people who play Winston? Honestly, I've got my own take on this. Personally, I would put them at a Musk Master kind of place.
Musk Master feels pretty
because
good, I think.
They're not clean, but I don't think they're the dirtiest of tanks.
No, it's kind of middle of the
Kick
road.
a Chad. If you play Winston, you're a Chad.
No, dude. I'm sorry,
I can't put
Winston's
him in Chad.
annoying.
Yeah, I can't put him in Chad team. Like he's jumping all around and then he's ulting and clearing point like that. It's just I don't know. I can't. And then no skill on the aim because you don't have to aim at anybody. It's just a Moira of tank. You just hold the trigger down and you're getting damage.
Yeah, I think Winston's middle of the road.
I think people who play Winston literally they take this character to heart and they actually smell like peanut butter. So
no, that's not bad. That's not too bad.
I'm gonna put him at Musk Master.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We have another hot character here, not literally, but in the realm of debate. We have Diva.
Stinks.
Stanky Supreme, bro.
This is Stanky Supreme, gentlemen.
I almost threw up just hearing the words.
There was one worse than that.
If there was one worse than that,
yeah.
All right, well,
she'd be.
we can put Diva in Stanky Supreme. Now we have Zarya, the Russian muscle mommy. How do
Stanky Supreme again.
we really think Stanky Supreme on Zarya?
Smells really bad. Needs to put on deodorant. Needs to take a bath.
I don't know. See, I feel like
I agree.
I don't know. I feel like Zarya isn't the worst tank on the planet.
Yeah, I
She's the second
think.
worst.
What's the second bottom tier?
Duke of Doodoo. Well, no, see, the other two gentlemen.
Duke of Doodoo?
Yeah, put her in Dookadoodoo tier.
The other two
I
gentlemen.
think Duke of Doodoo is fair.
You know, fair. I'll keep her there. I don't know what I'm trying to argue. I was trying to argue she's less than Stanky Supreme, more than Duke of Doodoo, so I don't know where I'd put her. So, top of Duke of Doodoo.
Yeah, for sure. We can go there.
Okay, ooh, this is a hot topic here. Lucio. How do we think players who play Lucio smell?
Squeaky clean.
Squeaky
Showers.
clean.
They shower? I'm thinking they're clean.
Yeah.
I think twice a day.
Twice. They're twice a day.
I think you might get a twice a day out of Lucio mains.
They do look pretty fresh. I'm not gonna lie. Lucio runs the fade.
Lucio runs the fade.
How about Hanzo?
Ooh,
Duke of
see-
Doodoo,
I
man.
think Duke of Doodoo. Duke of Doodoo. It's like not quite,
Well, see, that's the thing.
not
though,
quite the
is
worst, but pretty bad.
Hanzo, he actually does take skill to play, and you don't see that many Hanzos.
Genji's brother.
You know, fair. Good point. Just good point. He's Genji's brother. The next lower on the Duke of Doodoo. Okay, here we go. Here, I think I know where I want to place this next character. We have Reaper. Where do we think people who play Reaper smell? I would say, honestly...
Do we go Duke of Doodoo
No,
again?
no, I wouldn't say that. I would actually say, for myself, deodorized decent. Like,
Deodorized decent.
like-
Oh, wow.
like they're-
Opposite ends of the spectrum
well,
there.
see, they're not clean. They're not clean. But the difference being, they also aren't very stinky, in all reality. I just don't think
You
so.
think so?
No, I just don't think they're stinky. But you know, like these are the kind of guys who you'd be sitting behind in math class, right? And you can tell they just came from gym, but at least they put on a speed stick.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I think you might be right.
Because you can tell they got a little whiff to them, but they aren't the worst. So I'm gonna say deodorized decent. Like, it's only a subtle hint of, this kid just has gym class, because you can see the stain through his clothes. Okay, ooh, Farah. Where do we think people who play Farah live?
That might be Stanky Supreme.
Stanky Supreme?
You think so?
That might be
I don't know.
fair.
I don't have strong opinions in this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Who's accompanying them?
Who's accompanying
with them?
the Farah? Well,
Yeah.
you're great. You're
Mercy.
wonderful. Say Mercy accompanies, then that's definitely Stanky Supreme. Like, if we have
It takes a real fair player to play without a mercy.
it really does. And so let's just we have to take like the 100 gorilla, 100 men versus one gorilla. We've taken the average Farah player. The average Farah player has a mercy 10 out of 10 times.
Okay, then it's Muskmaster for sure.
Muskmaster, that's
Yeah.
that's complete middle of the road.
Is it?
Yeah, and we have, remember, the tiers go as worst, Stanky Supreme, then we have Duke of Doodoo, then Muskmaster,
Duke of Doodoo.
Duke of Doodoo. All right,
That's
Duke of
what I meant,
Doodoo.
yeah.
All right. I'll put her higher than Hanzo on Duke of Doodoo, so she stinks more than Hanzo players, but less than Zarya's. Ooh, here's a clean gentleman, if I do so say. Reinhardt. Where do Reinhardt players
Reinhardt.
stay?
Shower.
I think deodorized. I think they're deodorized.
I think, honestly, I
think
think they shower.
That's musky.
You think they're middle of the road musky? I think
Middle of the road musk.
I think Ryan players, they're pretty Chad. Let's be real here.
He's really cool.
People who have the balls to play Ryan and do good on the team, they shower.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Because it's not like he's an overpowered tank anyways. Like, you have players like
you're right.
Orisa, Sigma, Diva, Zarya. Like, you have all these other Doomfist. You have all these guys. But then you come into the match and you have the cojones to play Reinhardt. That shows respect.
I think that commands some respect. I think you're right.
Now, another hot topic here. Zenyatta. How do people smell when they play Zenyatta?
That might be squeaky clean.
Really?
I don't know, dude.
I was not thinking that.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that.
I was not thinking that at whatsoever, really.
Zenyatta.
I was going to say, personally, I'd put Zenyatta highest around Muskmaster. And by highest, I mean as clean as I'm going to go with Zenyatta as Muskmaster.
I agree.
I think that's a pretty good spot.
Because Zenny, I feel like he's just another one of those healers who, yes, he can heal a lot, but he's also the kind of guy to, when you have a very, very selfish one, you know he's going to pop ult just to not die to the Widow. Like, that's
true.
That's what's going to happen. You lock him in a spot as Tracer, you know he's popping ult. That's just not me. I'm going Muskmaster. I'm going Muskmaster on Zenyatta. Okay, how about Ana?
I think
Fucking
squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean?
Really stinky, stanky, stank.
Stanky stank?
Stanky stank.
No way.
I'll put her in Stanky Supreme. I agree. Widowmaker.
Deodorized.
No. No.
No?
No, you play Widow.
Duke of Doo-Doo.
Duke of Doo-Doo, sure.
Duke of doo-doo.
Sombra.
Stanky Supreme.
Stanky Supreme.
My
Stanky Supreme.
lord.
Yeah.
The smelliest.
The smell, you know, but even more smelly than Diva.
No,
second.
Second smell. All right,
Yeah,
second most.
for sure.
Okay. Orisa.
That's pretty.
like
That's
middle
pretty
of the
gross.
road musk.
You think?
Muskmaster. The Johnny, what do you say?
I'd say Duke of Doo-Doo.
Duke of Doo-Doo and
Duke. I
one
think
Duke.
Duke.
So bottom of Duke of Doo-Doo. We've got some pretty smelly here, more smelly heroes than less smelly heroes.
Yeah, the game smells.
The people who play this game do smell.
James does smell.
Doomfist
Yeah, you're just gonna get that on this.
or Coomerfist.
That's pretty
That's
gross.
Stanky Supreme.
That's pretty gross.
Do we put Coomerfist right below Sombra? Because that would then put him
Yeah.
above Genji and Mercy.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
spot to live.
Fair. Moira. Personally, my thoughts on Moira are deodorized decent. Not clean, by no means clean,
Deodorized.
but deodorized. I mean, you get
Do you say that just because they aren't like? It doesn't take any skill, so you like.
that's what I'm saying. Is they're
you
not
don't have
they're
to
not
be a
squeaky.
sweat.
Yeah, they're
you
not
don't have to
squeaky.
be a sweat.
You don't have to. Yeah, they're not. They're not
Okay,
squeaky.
yeah, I can get behind that.
So I would say Moira is a deodorized decent. Jason, what do you think?
Deodorized decent.
I think she's musky.
Musky,
I think Musk.
musky. I'll put her bottom of musky.
Yeah.
All right. How about Brig? What do we think people who play Brig smell like? Hot take here, gents. Duke of Doo-Doo.
Duke and Doo-Doo, wow.
I was gonna say musky again.
Musky.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have a strong
musky.
opinion, so
Okay.
I'll probably
I'll
go
put
musky.
her. I'll put her musky. Oh, okay, I know where this one's going. Ball.
Oh, bleh. That's stank. That's stank.
That's Duke.
That is stank.
Duke of Doo-Doo. All right, Jason. I'll let you break the tie. Is it Duke of Doo-Doo or Stanky Supreme on Ball?
It's Duke of Doo-Doo.
I'll put him
For
as more
surely.
stinky than Orisa, but less stinky than Widow. Okay, Ash.
Ash is probably. Do we go deodorized? Is that a little
I'd put her
too harsh?
I'd put her deodorized.
I agree.
Duke of Doo-Doo.
Duke of Doo-Doo for Ash.
Duke of Doo-Doo, wow. Big switch up.
We're all three of us are saying deodorized decent, so I think deodorized decent is where she goes.
Fine with me.
Baptiste.
Ooh. Damn, he's really smelly, dude.
He's smelly.
Baptiste, yeah.
He's OP.
He's OP. I agree.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy who doesn't like who's never washed his gym suit.
Never once.
I don't think he's a Stanky Supreme. All honesty, though, like judging by
think
what we
you go
have,
Duke of
judging
Doo-Doo?
by what we have in Stanky Supreme, I don't rate him there.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I put him in Duke of Doo-Doo.
I think that's fair.
I agree with that.
All right, Sigma.
Name alone, I think, deserves
Squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean.
squeaky clean. Yeah,
Squeaky, washed.
washed, moisturized, hydrated.
I wouldn't say that. Roadhog.
Smelly. That's Duke of Doo-Doo, man.
That's Duke of Doo-Doo.
I think is
I think Hogs are more of a Muskmaster kind of level.
I think Musk. I think Musky. I think Musky.
But then again, Roadhog is wearing the fucking gas mask, so
That's true. Trying to protect himself from his own stank.
he's trying to protect himself from his own fucking smell.
he knows he smells.
Yeah, you might have changed my mind on that one. Not gonna lie, just based on the gas mask.
You'll always get these hogs that think they can play hog good, and then they'll just run up and die every round and throw you the game. I'm gonna put Hog in Duke of Doo-Doo.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him.
Ooh, okay, I know where this one's going, whether you guys like it or not. Echo.
I don't have a super good answer here, but I know where I would.
For me,
I know
Musky.
I'm not a huge.
know.
Musky.
Worst, dude.
for me, Echo is stanky supreme, awful. Okay, then Sojourn,
The worst.
stanky
The
supreme,
worst.
stanky supreme. Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Wow.
Symmetra,
Stanky
Symmetra.
Supreme.
stanky supreme.
Stanky Supreme, dude.
She doesn't have any skill. She just puts up turrets, and that's the game.
That's true.
Speaking of turrets, Torbjorn,
Wow.
Squeaky clean, dude.
squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean.
Torb is squeaky.
Tor players do be squeaky. Speaking of people who are not clean, though, however, Junker Queen.
Ooh. I think Duke. I think Duke of Doodoo.
I'm fair with
Duke
that.
Doodoo or Musky.
I'm fair with Duke of Doodoo.
You could do, sure.
Okay, this one I'm just putting him there pre-place because I know what you guys are gonna say. Soldier,
He clean Chad.
squeakiest of clean.
Soldier is kind of Chad.
I'm saying soldier players are just the squeakiest of clean, or bottom of squeaky clean. I'll put him bottom of squeaky clean. How about that? Because right now we have Bastion as top of squeaky clean. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put
him as.
I'm putting Reinhardt as the top of squeaky clean. Okay, now we have Tracer.
That's stank. That is stank.
Really? I'd put Tracer and Muskmaster. They're getting a little musky there.
Muskmaster.
Yeah.
She's musky.
She's just musky in my opinion. They always TP around, but they can't do much ever unless they're godly. But then again, it's custom like if they earned it if they got to that point. So we'll put them in Muskmaster.
No.
Okay, how about Kiriko?
Giga Chad, squeaky clean. Nah, I know that's not accurate, but
Deodorized decent.
deodorized. Yeah, okay. That's fair.
I'll put her there.
That's a fair
How about
judgment.
All right, Ramatra.
That's Duke of Doodoo right there.
Doo-doo. I'll put her there. All right, Lifeweaver. I would personally put these Lifeweavers.
He's like deodorized decent or squeaky clean.
I would put Lifeweaver honestly as squeaky clean. They're not that bad of a people. They're not that bad of a people.
They're not that bad of a people.
All right, I know where this person's going. Ilari.
Ilari might be stank, man.
For me,
she's-
Ilari is stanky supreme. This is DPS healer.
DPS healer. DPS
Okay,
healers are kind of stanky.
this is another one. Mauga.
Mauga is stanky supreme all the way.
Yeah, stanky supreme all the way. He. Where do you think he places? High, more than Doomfist? I believe so.
More than Doom.
More than Doom, less than Sombra. That's where Mauga belongs. Right there in the third place portion of stanky supreme.
I'm gonna say he's musty, honestly.
No, Mauga players are disgusting. You don't leave your chair. Venture.
That might be
I don't
stanky
know what the
supreme
vibe
too.
is
She's
there.
busted.
She is busted. You can't aim if you play Venture. The Johnny, what do you think of Venture?
Musty.
Musky?
Yeah.
I think that places her in a fine Duke of Doodoo then. Okay, Juno.
Deodorized
You could
decent.
do. No, hell no.
I'm gonna put I believe Junos are actually deodorized decent. So because of those those votes, I put her in bottom of Muskmaster, and that's where she belongs.
Yeah.
All right, how about Hazard? Any thoughts on Hazard?
He's not that bad. He might be squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean on
Maybe
Hazard?
deodorized. I'm feeling more deodorized.
Johnny, what do you think?
Hazard
Yeah.
is deodorized, I suppose.
All right, bottom of deodorized. We'll put him. And lastly, we have the newest hero, Freya. How do people who play her smell?
You could do.
Duke of Doodoo?
Duke of Doodoo.
Doo-doo.
All
Doo-doo.
right, doo-doo it is. And there you have it, how every person smells based on the Overwatch hero that they play. We have the cleanest of clean players, so if you want to smell good while playing this game, switch to these heroes. I want to see these comps more often, all right? And if you smell, you know who you are.